Hey everyone, we know how hard it can be to keep up with the latest news in Israel. So if you haven't had the time to stay on top of what's what in the Holy Land, we're here for you. I'm Ladar Gavelazi, and this is ILTV's Weekly Review.
Now, this sure was an interesting night as a technical glitch last night forced an emergency landing of an Air Seychelles flight carrying Israeli passengers in Saudi Arabia. Air Seychelles flight HM022 carrying 128 Israeli passengers traveling from Seychelles to Tel Aviv made an emergency landing at Jeddah Airport in Saudi Arabia on Monday night. The cause was a technical malfunction, specifically an electrical issue. Passengers who were aboard the Airbus 320 had to spend the night at the Jeddah airport due to the unscheduled landing. The airline confirmed that all passengers were safe and arrangements were being made to swiftly transport them back to Tel Aviv. The passengers were provided with hotel rooms during their overnight stay by Saudi authorities. Surprisingly, passengers reported being warmly treated by the Saudis, with one passenger mentioning, "The reception we got from the Saudis was very surprising. In truth, we were not expecting this." The replacement plane dispatched by Air Seychelles was scheduled to leave Dubai for Jeddah to pick up the stranded passengers and complete a journey to the Ben Gurion International Airport near Tel Aviv. And the Israeli Foreign Ministry was actively engaged in resolving the situation. It's noteworthy that Saudi Arabia's decision last year to allow flights, including those of Israeli Airlines, to use its airspace has significantly reduced flight times from Israel to various destinations, marking a notable diplomatic shift. As morning dawned, the replacement plane has arrived, ending the ordeal as they all landed safe back in Israel. Happy. Is Israel misreading the situation when it comes to normalization with Saudi Arabia? There is much anticipation of a peace deal between the two countries, but now U.S. officials saying Israel is misreading the situation if it thinks it won't have to make significant concessions to the Palestinians. And ILTV's William Sharon has more.
The Biden administration told the Israeli government last week that it would have to make significant concessions to the Palestinians as part of a possible mega deal with Saudi Arabia that includes normalizations between the kingdom and Israel, according to the news site Axios. The report cited 4 U.S. officials and a source briefed on the issue. According to the report, Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer visited Washington last week for talks at the White House and State Department over the deal. While there, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told Dermer that the Israeli government is misreading the situation if it thinks it won't have to make concessions to the Palestinians. Officials claim that Blinken also said that Saudi Arabia will need to show the Arab and Muslim world that it got a significant deliverables from Israel regarding the Palestinians in return for a normalization agreement. Yet, according to the report, Dermer was not forthcoming about possible Israeli concessions, saying instead that Israel's concession is that it's ready to accept civilian nuclear program in Saudi Arabia. Reaching a deal that includes Saudi-Israel peace agreement will be a historic foreign policy achievement, and as such, the Biden administration is pushing for a deal before the upcoming U.S. elections. The report also cited 3 current and former U.S. officials who said that Netanyahu could be invited to the White House for a meeting with Biden in September, and that the meeting will likely focus on Israeli concessions to the Palestinians. The Biden administration hasn't confirmed if or when a White House meeting between Biden and Netanyahu will take place.
Experience the power of truth with ILTV News. If you're looking for quality content and captivating visuals, join our news community and become an integral part of our team as we embark on a mission to unveil the real Israel, dismantling the web of lies and misinformation that surround reporting on Israel. By subscribing to ILTV News, you will not only have access to the latest updates, but you will also amplify our message, creating a ripple effect that carries the truth far and wide. Subscribe today and help reshape the narrative. Available on the web, Android, and
BRIC's economic bloc welcomes new and some controversial members, expanding global influence and raising geopolitical questions.
We have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of BRICS, the membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024.
The BRICS economic bloc has revealed plans to welcome Iran, Saudi Arabia, and 4 other countries as new members, expanding its reach beyond its original boundaries. The new additions, which also include the United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Egypt, and Ethiopia, are set to join Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa from next year. Originally established in 2009, BRICS emerged as a platform for emerging market economies to amplify their collective voice on the global stage. However, this expansion also raises questions about the influence of China, a dominant player within BRICS, on global geopolitics. With rising tensions between China and the United States and Russia faces off with Western nations over the situation in Ukraine, concerns are mounting over whether BRICS might be leaning towards an anti-Western stance.
这次会员也给金砖合作，也是金砖合作的新起点，将给金砖合作机制注入新活力。
Iran's inclusion has generated attention given its complex international relations and the recent uncertainty following the collapse of the 2015 nuclear deal. Yet, officials from the newly included countries have hailed this decision. Mohammad Jamshidi, the political deputy of Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi, hailed the move as a historic victory for Iran's foreign policy. This expansion marks the second time of BRICS enlargement since its inception, as the bloc broadens its scope, including nations that until recently seemed unlikely to join. The geopolitical landscape is set to undergo further shifts. Now, the recent leak of the secret meeting between Israel's Foreign Minister Eli Cohen and Libya's counterpart Najla Mohammed El-Manqoush in Rome has ignited a diplomatic firestorm. And now Washington is furious and Eli Cohen issues his first response. And ILTV's Devo Klein reports.
The revelation of a historic meeting between Israel's Foreign Minister Eli Cohen and Libya's counterpart Najla Mohammed El-Manqoush in Rome has caused a diplomatic storm. The office of Libya's Prime Minister Abdelhamid Dbeibeh initially claimed that the meeting was authorized in advance, signaling a potential thaw in relations. However, controversy erupted when it was disclosed that Cohen had publicly announced the meeting, leading to a swift backlash from both Libya and Israel. As a reminder, the Libyan government quickly denied that the meeting was formalized in advance, with officials insisting it was an unofficial and unprepared casual meeting. This discrepancy led to the suspension and subsequent firing of Minister Al-Manqoush. The situation escalated further as she fled to Turkey, and protests erupted in Tripoli and other parts of Libya, demanding the ousting of Prime Minister Dbeibeh. The fallout extended beyond Libya's borders as the United States expressed fury over the public disclosure of the meeting. Officials in Washington conveyed their disappointment, stating that the episode would discourage other countries from normalizing relations with Israel. The controversy also raised concerns about Israel's credibility in pursuing diplomatic ties with nations in the region, potentially hindering future efforts. In response to the criticism, Foreign Minister Cohen defended his actions, asserting that Israel's foreign relations have been expanding throughout both overt and covert channels. He emphasized that the ministry's achievements, including agreements with Oman and the UAE, had been a result of discreet preparations. Furthermore, efforts to hold the second-ever ministerial gathering of the Negev Forum suffered a significant blow following Eli Cohen's publication of the secret meeting. As the diplomatic uproar continues, experts speculate about the broader implications of this incident on regional dynamics. The controversy has highlighted the challenges in foreign diplomatic ties in a region with deep-rooted political sensitivities.
Israel has been suffering under a recent record-breaking wave of terror. Since the start of the year, we have seen the loss of 35 Israeli citizens. May they all be of blessed memory. And the terror continues as just this morning an attempted shooting attack occurred where IDF soldiers near Mevodotan found their outpost under fire from Palestinian terrorists. The attempted shooting terror attack took place early this morning when a group of terrorists threw explosive devices from a moving vehicle toward an IDF outpost near Mevodotan in Samaria. The outpost soldiers quickly identified the terrorists and returned fire, hitting 3 of them. In the fire exchange, no IDF troops were injured. The injured terrorists were transferred to a hospital in Jenin for treatment, according to Palestinian reports.